Okay, this is going to be a demo on how to do your image transfer um, from your drawings, whether that's on white paper or some of you might have done it on transparency paper. But we're going to learn how to use these drawings that we have done to transfer, our images. Some of you have on mine, I put two shapes together, so this whole side kind of has one flow to it. But some of you are going to have a rectangle that's different from this rectangle here for the negative space side. So image transfer is easy. If you've done a good job on your drawing, that was the hard part to get your design done. Now that we have it on paper to scale, we have our form constructed, our surfaces are smooth, because once we do that image transfer, we're kind of like working around those lines. So if you have any blemishes or things that you want to clean up, you want to make sure you do that prior to your image transfer, which I'm going to get a little sponge real quick. I do have a few areas I should have cleaned real quick. So yeah, the lines that we're going to carry over through the paper should not cut deep into the clay. They should be very faint. And you're probably still going to have to use this drawing as a reference to help you kind of finish your design. So once you transfer it, hold on to that design, don't throw it away, and we'll use it to help us figure out areas that might be kind of harder to see sometimes, depending on how elaborate your design is. So yeah, I feel pretty good about this. Sorry. That wiped down. Make sure you're happy with that surface. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and transfer. I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. I'll probably just do like both sides. So first thing you want to do is just line your paper up. I know that you're not going to be able to see perfectly, but now the paper, if you have a tiny bit of moisture, sometimes that paper is going to stick. And if not, this one's not going to stick. Not that there's any perfect solution, because sometimes the tape doesn't want to stick to wet clay either. But we need to find a way so that our paper doesn't move once we get it, lined up on there. So just make sure you're really happy. I'll see if I can get that to. That might hold it a little bit up there. Okay. So what I'm going to work with, is I'm going to just use my hand to kind of hold it into place, making sure that it's really aligned where you guys want it. And then usually I pick a colored pencil that's kind of rounded so it doesn't break through the paper. And the reason I like colored pencil is sometimes I can forget what lines I went over. So if I have something that's colored a little bit on top of these black lines, it'll help me remember not to miss one. And we're only going to be doing the lines, right? So when you're pushing down, you're going to push on these lines, and the paper is going to kind of fold down into the clay a little bit. Like as I do this, it's going to kind of make the paper stick in the areas. Remember, we'll have to use the same piece of paper twice. So definitely try not to break through it by pressing too hard. And so I'm just going to go over all of these lines real carefully. We want to make sure that our horizontal lines are really reading as horizontal. So when you transfer it, make sure that you're arranging it so that it really showcases your design versus having it a little bit crooked. So yeah, I'll kind of show you here in a second how it's going to start to stick. Sometimes your paper tends to want to kind of fold up. So you can see I've traced the flower And so now that paper, is stuck down. And yeah, we want to trace every line that we've done. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this towards me and just kind of continue doing my image transfer. Gotta remember where I stopped. And now you can kind of see why we encouraged you guys not to do like crazy, like super detailed mark making. This is more of a shape and a line based project. So we had some nice designs come out, you guys did. It's gonna be fun to see how it turns out. Now the shapes that I am carving out in negative space, I'm gonna go ahead and those are my black ovals. I'm gonna go ahead and just continue to trace around those as well. Okay. So that half is done. Get this half done. I didn't do these. If you, I forgot if I did these circles up here or not. You can actually touch it with your finger and it'll tell you. Like if you can feel it, and if it's indented down into the clay, then you know you've already gone over that. I'm almost done. Probably should have done this from a different camera angle, but either way, you guys will get to see the outcome here in a second. Okay, and before I take this off, I'm just going to quickly fill, make sure that I've gone over all of these. Yep, everything feels good. Okay, so now we're going to see when the image transfer comes out. Okay, it's a very, very faint line. It's not digging into the clay. We are going to end up doing Mishima on all of these lines. And again, Mishima will be the carved area. The lines will be carved and we'll have a color inlay. So after we do our image transfer, the next step, which I'll be showing you in the video, is to paint all of our shapes in. And so whatever colors you picked, we're going to paint all the way up, even on top of that line a little bit, because we're going to carve the line away and we want our shapes to be full of color. So that'll be the next step. It's important that you keep your work leather hard. So you guys may have to continue to lightly spray it and cover it in between tracings. Mishima process has to happen at leather hard. So I'll go ahead and finish this, and then I'll show you guys in another video what it looks like when we start adding in the color. And I still got to make my handle too. All right, bye-bye.